Donnie. Commander and Cheeto. So, this is to you, my man. I just don't get it. Like, I really don't. I mean, god damn. Oh, Jesus. Like, how? How do you do and say the shit that you say and do? It's just beyond me, you know? I'm at a loss for words, and that's something that very rarely happens to me. So you should be impressed. So here's the thing. You've only been in office less than a year. And without a doubt, you are the single most undisputed corrupt individual to ever become president. I mean, you make Andrew Johnson and Andrew Jackson look like civil rights workers. And they were the most racist people to ever be president until you came along. It just boggles my mind, the shit that you say and come up with. I mean, like calling the NFL players sons of bitches and that they should be fired. You really think it's a good idea to be talking shit like that towards people that are usually like, what, 6'4", 6'5", 260, 270 on up? And, you know, talk shit to them? Because I guarantee you would not say that to any of their faces, because they would stomp the shit out of you. Okay? You tout how great of a businessman you are. I hate to break it to you, Donnie. You ain't a good businessman. I mean, you got your money from your dad, and you took over the company and whatnot, and you literally ran it into the ground. You went bankrupt. Here's the thing about bankruptcy. People go bankrupt all the time. You can accept when someone goes bankrupt. It happens. Shit happens, you make a mistake or two. Whatever. But you went bankrupt not just once. Not just twice. Hell, not even just thrice. You went bankrupt thrice, or quadruple, or whatever the word is for four, and it's my fucking channel, so if I want to make up a goddamn word for it, I will. You went bankrupt running a casino. A business that is designed to only make money. How? How is that possible? How? The Mafia ran fucking casinos. And the only reason they're not running them is they got kicked out by the government because they were skimming off the top. Something you probably know about, my man. Because, let's face it, you're a fucking criminal. I mean, okay, here, so you make George W. Bush, who we know is a complete dumbass, look like fucking Einstein. You make Richard Nixon, the most single corrupt president in our history. You know, the guy who resigned in 1974 because he was facing prosecution. You make him look like a choir boy with the shit that you say and do. I mean, okay, and so that's just... And it's like with your son. Like, how could you not know that your son went to a meeting with a Russian lawyer and you used the word adoption for a code to try and hide it? I mean, you couldn't have come up with a better word, been more creative than adoption? You fired the director of the FBI, not because he was doing a bad job and was inept. No. You fired him because you openly asked him to stop the Russia investigation and he told you point blank that he couldn't. So you fired him to try and stop the investigation. The problem with that is, my man, is that makes you look even more guilty. Didn't think about that, did you? Your policies. Let's talk about your policies for a few minutes, shall we? The wall. Okay, you do realize that walls don't really work, right? I mean, do you not get that? Because the thing about walls is, other than the great... Walls are built for defense. They are built to keep people out. But the thing about walls is, other than the Great Wall of China, every so-called famous wall that's been built has failed. And it's like the Berlin Wall has... Does that ring a bell? Because that's what you're doing. You claim to be this pro-America and pro-rights for everybody type dude, but you're trying to bring back essentially the Berlin Wall. And again, the thing about walls is, the wall is supposed to be 20 feet high, right? That's not that tall, to tell you the honest truth. And if people really want to get around a wall, they will figure out a way. See, there's these things called ladders. You place them against an object, such as a wall, and you climb the fuck up and over it. There's these also interesting little utensils called shovels, and you dig with them, and you can just simply dig under the fucking wall, make a tunnel. Hell, if you really are desperate and you really got the time, you could drill through the wall. But let's talk about your policy for paying for the wall. You see, you wanted Mexico to pay for the wall, right? And you knew damn well they weren't going to do that. The fucking Mexican president, Presidente Fox, told you basically to fuck off and get back across the border. And you only went that route because you knew that the American taxpayers weren't going to pay for the wall, because we all, basically, most of us think you're full of shit. So what you did was, you said then finally, well, we're going to have to possibly shut down the federal government. But you still haven't gotten the bill for the wall passed. And you must realize, right, that if you shut down the federal government, that the Congress is not going to be in session, which means they're not going to be able to vote on your bill, which means your bill is not going to get passed. You know, let's see, what else is there that you've done? Oh yeah, the North Korea, right? Yeah, thanks for bringing us to the brink of World War motherfucking 3. You call Kim Jong-un or In or however the hell you pronounce the little bastard's name, Rocket Man? Really? That's the best you can come up with? Rocket Man? What the hell? Are we quoting fucking Elton John lyrics now? You know, and what is it with, like, you talk bad about immigrants, right? Let me, see this shirt? See? Unless you're these guys, or you have one of these guys as an ancestor, you're an immigrant. I'm an immigrant. Everyone in this country who is not one of these guys, or not part of their family, is an immigrant. And your wife, fuck. I mean, did you just watch Stepford Wives too many times and been like, I want one of those? So you went and picked this bitch up from whatever country she's actually from? And then, like, what's this creepy fascination you have of your daughter? Like, that's not just wrong, it's fucking sick. It needs to stop, really. You know, I cannot express, like, the level of stupidity that you do, my man. I mean, shit. Oh, goddamn. Fuck. I mean, I don't know. I really don't. I mean, you're not even a year into your term, and this is the way it's going. I'll tell you straight up, you ain't gonna get a second. Because you're, like, holding these rallies and, like, running for re-election. You ain't even halfway through your first term. And the way things are going, you ain't gonna make it through your first term. Because your ass is gonna get impeached. I mean, your campaign manager is about apparently to go to prison for his dealings with Russia. Your first chief of staff was working for Turkey, of all fucking countries, and you didn't bother to ask that? I mean, if I was having an interview and I was the President of the United States and I was looking for a cabinet, I would probably ask that somewhere along the lines. You know? Especially if I knew they had even the smallest ties. Just to sort everything out. And speaking of cabinets, I didn't think any cabinet, looking back at history, could be more corrupt than Richard Nixon's, but you, Donnie, you Oompa-Loompa bastard, you topped it. You did. So, yeah, I really ain't got much more to say, because, and, you know, and if you see this, because apparently you spend most of your time either on the internet or watching TV instead of doing your fucking job, maybe you'll learn something from it and you'll change your ways, but I doubt it, because, you know, and all you little trumpets or trumpers or whatever the hell you're called, yeah, you're all full of shit and your guy ain't gonna win next time if he runs, trust me. So, anyway, in closing, you can leave in the comments that you think he's full of shit. You know, you can say, no, I'm a Trumper and I think he's actually justified, which just means that you're batshit or apeshit or whatever fucking mammal you want to insert crazy. Yeah. And you can just say that you don't care, which is kind of stupid because we're basically on the brink of World War III. So, I'm just going to go ahead and close this and say, this is your favorite Raging Rebel saying, always stay true to yourself and get carried the fuck away.